So this was my second time at Leeuwkop, my third time in Africa. We arrived in the morning and I was very excited because I was not successful on my hunt the first time around, which was Cape Buffalo with a bow. So I was ready to give it another shot. I'd been training for several months and I was extremely excited that Deborah agreed to come with me. As soon as we arrived in Kimberley, we were greeted at the airport by DJ and August.
Andrew was here last year to shoot a buffalo with his bow. Unfortunately, we did not succeed. So we're going at it again this year. So he's bringing his wife this time. So we're very excited to have him over here.
Feels good to be back.
Oh, we are glad to have you.
We went and got a cup of coffee since it was still morning time.
So we're getting some coffee. Deborah said that why did she come all the way to Africa to get Seattle coffee? So I just about told her that she's gonna have the best coffee in the world right now. So she's gonna fly to Africa again just to get coffee.
Came out to the property, got the bows out to make sure that they did okay in transport, shot a little bit. So last year I had some issues with my bow, and so this year, to avoid that, I got a second bow so that I could be reasonably certain that one out of the two at least would work the way I needed it to. I've got my old one is a Matthews, and the new one is a Hoyt. I think the local preference is Hoyt. Hopefully I won't have equipment as an excuse this year. So this is what I had thought to use for my plains game setup, which is a total arrow weight of 620. It's got a 250 spine, 200 grain broadhead. This is the dangerous game setup, quite a larger broadhead, 400 grains, 150 spine, so plenty stiff. Both of them are pretty good FOC. This one has an internal rod which should help with the integrity of the arrow if it hits bone, which of course we can expect.
Yeah, so.
But I'm curious as to your thoughts because you're the one with the experience.
Well, the broadhead I like, it's a 1 inch by 3 inches, good for penetration, single bevel. This is 1,050 grains. We will see what distance we can get out of this, either through the Matthews or the Hoyt. And then the plains game arrow is a 620, like you said. The spines on these are nice and stiff. And yeah, let's see if we can put this guy all the way to the fletches into a buffalo. And then with a plains game arrow, I'm not sure what Mr. Andrew has decided on shooting on when it comes to plains game, but
Buffalo first.
Buffalo first.
Yeah, so we shot a couple of arrows now, and the first couple of shots Andrew took was right there in the kill zone, which should have been perfect.
And it was time to start hunting. It was a little bit later in the day.
Now we are going to take down the big dagger boy with the bow.
We didn't necessarily expect to be successful, but hunting is about opportunities, and we wanted to take any opportunities we had. And we did get into some buffalo. We had seen them from a high point, and we put a stalk on. It was a herd of buffalo. We saw lots of other animals.
So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna head up here. We're gonna start on these mountains,
see if we can spot them, see if we can see which way they are feeding, and then see if we can work our way around it, and if it's stalkable, to get the advantage above them. Maybe stop and wait for them to come and feed past us. You know, with the bow we have to get in close range, so we have to figure out the plans before we find them.
But ultimately the light ran out, and although we got within 40 or 50 yards, the wind wasn't exactly correct because it shifted as we were hiking.
We got about 60 yards from them, not a bow shot distance, but I mean the light was fading and stuff, so we couldn't make our move.
So we were not able to take a shot, and then when we were hiking back out, we saw 2 other groups of buffalo. So it was just a fantastic first day. We were so warmly greeted when we arrived at the lodge by all of the staff. We were given a welcome.
Dancing and music, and oh, it was lovely.
We're so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Thank you.
We're glad to have you.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The meerkat and I have to get along. Oh my God, I gotta make friends.
So nice to see you.
Yes.
Thank you for having us again.
It's always a pleasure. I'm glad to have you back. Okay, so this is just a small little gift for you.
Thank you.
It's a jersey and a hat for you, Andrew, and then for you, it's just a normal button-down shirt, a cap, and a rooibos tea hand and nail cream.
On our second day, we headed out. I had my dangerous game set up with me, and we saw lots of animals, saw a group of buffalo, kept hunting. Our ideal buffalo would be a lone bull by himself. We took a break in the middle of the day because we indeed saw one lone bull, but he had got up and ran, and so we wanted to give him some time to calm down, and so we sat by a water hole to give him a chance to relax a little bit and to see whether we could put a stalk on.
Okay, Andrew, after sawing that big bull down there, very nice big body, and we said we have to give him about 40 minutes to calm down. So we came down here to the watering hole. We started walking around looking for tracks. Joe, Mambo and them, they went on this direction, they saw a set of tracks, and then me and August, we went on this direction, we saw a set of tracks. We initially thought it's the group that we were on this morning because they fed in the same direction. And then all of a sudden Mambo spots a track going off to the side. It is a fresh track, it is a bull track. So I think let's follow it and let's just see what happens. If not, then we go back to the other bull on the other side.
Perfect. Let's go check it out. And you know, these guys don't just sit still. And so when we got to the water hole, they got out and started looking for tracks and said that there was a very fresh track. It was a lone bull. They were sure it was an old bull, and that we should follow the track. So we did, and we went through some thick brush, and all of a sudden DJ stopped and said, "He's just right there." And I leaned forward around a bush, looking not to the horizon, but reasonably far, but he was just right there. He was 12 yards away. That's exciting.
It is exciting.
There's nothing like the sound of that arrow slicing in there.
Oh yeah, and it's an old bull. It's a very old buffalo. I could see that bosses while he was laying down there. When he came for us, I could see the bosses as well. It was such a beautiful bull. Big body. It's a great bull, so
I'm so excited.
I hope he's down. I think he's down. I think he must be down. So yeah.
Well, we'll give him a little bit of time and then we'll track him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Day two.
Thank you very much. Great job. Yeah. This is here, and so this bush was in the way. This is where he got up.
Yeah.
He wheeled around, started going this way. Those are his tracks. There's blood. There's blood there. Blood there.
Right, Andrew, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You came back for this. In total, I think you've hunted, what, 12 days now for Cape Buffalo, and today was your day. Your first shot, he was laying down at, what, 15 yards. We saw the fresh tracks crossing from the water. We followed those tracks. We kind of stayed, but he has to be in this area just from the reaction of other bulls. We saw the other bulls were laying down and so forth, as we saw this morning. So we knew he was kind of in that confined, or not confined, but that little thicket over there. Let me state it that way. And then we found him laying down. Luckily came around the bush 15 yards. Your first arrow punctured him. Perfect. It couldn't have been better. Quartering away shot right into the lungs. It might have been into the heart as well. And then why don't you tell us what happened thereafter?
This bull jumped up and came straight at us. He didn't have any thoughts about running away. He ran straight towards us. We all scattered, but you didn't. And thank God you had that rifle.
Yeah.
And that you put 2 chunks of lead into him.
Yeah, I think the first shot hit him in the neck, and then the other shot just hit him underneath the brain. That stunned him just enough that he could have turned. And luckily we couldn't brain him right there, but he didn't run far. I mean, we tracked him and he was pouring blood. It looked like a bucket of blood that he threw out. And these broadheads of yours, they performed very, very well. He ran probably 150 yards, and we gave it about 15-20 minutes, and we had the death bellow, and we knew we knew he was dead, but we weren't sure. So we just all followed procedures and came across him, and here he is. What a beautiful bull, rock hard, super old, tough bull. He gave his last fight for sure. So yeah, congratulations on an excellent buffalo.
Thank you. I would have been happy with any buffalo. I'm really happy to get an old one. When I left last year, I said my hunt wasn't finished, it was just delayed. And I came back with all of my stubbornness intact. And I'm just so grateful to you and your team. This has been just an incredible experience, and I'm so humbled to be sitting here right now with this magnificent animal.
And I tip my hat to you for that, Andrew. Coming back, again a year after you came and failed. I knew you were a little bit sick at that time, and we had a lot of opportunities, and the buffalo were there, but it just didn't pan out. But that's the thing with bow hunting, you never know, and that's like we talked this morning as well. It's a challenge, and the challenge panned out, and here we are. Sitting
this beautiful bull. That was a good day. That was a sense of adrenaline that is rare to find in this life, and I was thrilled that you were with me. I was thrilled that what had been a 2-year saga had a happy ending with no injuries, with a beautiful old buffalo, exactly the kind of animal that I would like to shoot. I wasn't going to be particular. I wanted to shoot an animal that if I had the chance, was appropriate. But he's just fantastic. He's big, old, hard, tons of character. He was obviously a fighter, and he gave us the last fight on that day.
Well, my friend, a year later, but it's done. We've got a little gift for you. We'll stick your little name plaque there, and if you want to, you can stick your broadhead on there as well if you really want to. So congratulations once again on a very beautiful buffalo and excellent shooting.
Thank you.
So I'll hand this out to you. It's called a springbok. It's not a buffalo. I think I'm going to rename it to buffalo now. And you, ma'am, thank you for joining us. And then to my very scared cameraman. Go. To a rock hard old Cape buffalo and to a perfect bow shot. Andrew, congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
thank you for
Thank you.
joining us on the hunt.
Thank you.
Saving our skinny arms.
So we had quite the celebration here at the lodge after shooting the buffalo. It was an incredible feeling. I might have almost gotten emotional. And it was all just incredibly genuine. And we had a wonderful dinner, and we drank some wine, and we sat by the fire. But we woke up the next day, and I was ready to hunt some more. So, and you didn't go with me that day.
No, I went into town.
You went into
With
town with
Zelme.
Zelme.
Yes. Yeah. Spent the day. Got coffee.
So we went out and we hunted and we stalked in the morning and had some lunch and hunted and stalked in the afternoon. And we saw lots of animals, but something as simple as a wind shift, can change the hunt. And that was also a good day. I've become a much better hunter by being here at Waterbuck, hunting in Africa. And so, although there was no game brought down on that third day, it was a fantastic day to be in the field, getting close, and that was just fine. But the next day, you decided that you were gonna jump into the action, and so we went to the shooting range.
Yes.
And you've shot before.
Yes. I mean, I've shot before. I've never killed an animal like this before, but I just thought, let's see where this goes. And so after taking some shots there in the range, we went out and you brought your bow and we thought, well, let's see who gets what. And I saw a copper springbuck, and DJ and the crew helped us stalk it. And I got within 120 yards, and I could feel it. I took that one deep breath, let it go, pulled the trigger, saw it jump up in the air. I hugged. Everybody went for high fives, and I went in for hugs. I was so excited. I think I even squealed on the video. But it was an incredible feeling.
Big copper male in here with a couple of white ones. They are looking in the storage. I don't think they see us yet. Very good shot. Thank you. You're a quick shot. Okay, Deborah. So we started off in the wide open with copper springbok.
and some other common springbok as well. It was quite a difficult stalk over there. I think the wildebeest busted us. They ran straight past us, which was very unusual. And then we kind of came into this thick stuff here. We saw some white females, game spunk, zebra, and then a couple of other female springbok as well. We came into the thicket and there was a bunch of males. I mean, you could have shot the slam right there. We had black springbok, we had white springbok, we had common, and then obviously copper. And you said, you told me that you want the one that, whichever one is easiest. And I told you, well, this one is standing out to me the most. It's definitely the most exceptional trophy in between there. And we were probably 100, 110 yards at most. And your first shot hit a little bit low, and then afterwards we put in some security shot to finish the job off. So congratulations on an exceptional copper springbok. Nice horns, nice and heavy on the bases, old ram, and very nice coloring on him as well. So congratulations to everybody on the team and everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
so-
you.
Go down, T. Here there is no space.
No, I want the camera to see the springbok.
Ah.
Yes.
So the following day, we were going to go out and bow hunt more. And as we went out into the field, we drove past a neighboring farmer who told us that there was a problem giraffe. And you and I had seen giraffes here on Leeuwkop, and we admired them, and they're beautiful, and we watched them, and we took pictures. It was not an animal on the list. But the farmer asked us if we could please hunt the giraffe. It was breaking fences, fighting with other giraffes, bothering other animals. And so I viewed it as an opportunity. And coincidentally, on our flight to Africa, you sat next to a client of mine who only does cull hunts, and he only hunts animals that are problems. And that was in my mind. This was an animal that was causing problems, and somebody needed to take it. And so I switched gears and decided that we'd give it a shot. Well, giraffes are harder to hunt than you would think. They see everything, first off. Every step they take must be eight feet.
Yeah.
When they gallop, they can get away in the blink of an eye, and they can see you, but you can't see them because they're taller than the trees, but you can't see over the trees. And so we ended up hunting that giraffe for 2 days because it lost us on the first day. And if I was hunting with a rifle, it would have been a short day. It would have been easy to take a 100-yard shot, but with a bow, you've got to get close. You have to be quiet. With an animal like that, there are multiple shots that you can take, but the preferred shot is from the front. So it's very easy for the animal to see you. And after the first day, he wouldn't let us get within 60, 75 yards before he would turn and go in another direction. So on the second day, after hunting him for about 12 hours total, we finally got a shot. It was a 53-yard shot. He was in the open, and he saw us. But I took the shot, and it landed. My bow did its work. I had my Plains Game bow and Plains Game arrows with me, which are obviously much lighter. But the arrow buried deep, and it was almost an immediate death. He turned around, went 30 feet, 5 steps, and fell over dead. It was exhilarating. I was so happy to be successful because it was not an easy hunt. And
Morning, Andrew.
how are you?
Good, fun, thank you. I haven't seen you since last night. I'm joking, we had a nice breakfast now. We're going to go out now. I think yesterday we started with something. I think we have to put an end to it. So we're going to be looking for that naughty giraffe that's keep on breaking through the fences and so forth. So yeah, we went through the shot placement yesterday. We kind of wanted a frontal shot. He gave us one opportunity, but not enough time. Purely not enough time. He gave us 1 or 2 times where we could get broadside shots, but You know, I just don't want to take a broadside.
No, I'd rather take a safer shot.
Exactly. There's no bones in the way, and so yeah, I think that's the safest option.
Well, when we came out, Deborah and I saw giraffes, and she was mystified.
Oh yeah.
And frankly, it wasn't on my list. But then when I heard that there was a giraffe that was causing problems,
Yeah.
well, that changed things a little bit.
Yeah, no, it does. So
They're wily. I was surprised at how hard they are to hunt.
They are hard to hunt. It looks like they're so calm and easy to get onto, but to get the right shot in the right distance is difficult.
Yeah. Well, with a rifle, there would be one less naughty giraffe, but with a bow,
yeah,
it takes a little bit more work.
It does. So let's go put in the work, and hopefully we get something.
I'm ready.
All right.
He's gonna go.
Fuck's sakes.
Oh!
Yes. I did not think we're gonna succeed on still. Yeah, he's wobbling. Let's leave him for a bit. Yes, that arrow went in. It must have hit the heart. Perfectly.
Look at the size on that. A couple of times he presented himself, but he just didn't give us enough time. And then finally, as we came around here now, and it was full on frontal shot, and you took the frontal shot. But when you shot that, I could see that Fletcher's just disappearing, and what he ran probably 30 yards or something like that. So yeah, it's exceptional trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you. 2 days of stalking this animal, some of it through rough terrain, paid off, and you know the arrow did its job. It's completely buried. Once it became a challenge yesterday, I really wanted to see it through.
Yeah.
And you and your team just did a fantastic job getting us on it and keeping us on it. They're more wily than I would have thought. But once I got a good shot, 50 yards, buried the arrow past the fletch, and he didn't go far at all.
No.
I'm thrilled. This was a wonderful hunt. The skinners came in once the giraffe was down.
Staff packed a picnic basket, champagne. It was a celebration. I mean, we drove up there playing music and seeing all of you guys out there. It was amazing. They brought in sandwiches and everything, and so we were actually able to be there the whole time they were skinning the giraffe, watching the process, seeing them celebrate, and you know, your happy faces, and it was lovely.
Welcome to Under the African Sky with Leeuwkop Hunting Safaris. Tonight's dinner, we are going to have oxtail braised in red wine and Worcestershire sauce for hours on the fire. It's going to be served with basmati rice, and for dessert we are going to have our South Africans' favorite, malva pudding. Tonight's service actually is very close to my heart, as it takes me back to Christmas holidays to my grandmother's house, where we used to sit around the fire and share a hot, hearty meal like this. Bon appetit!
Wow, we walked up and saw the table. I mean, underneath the African sky is beautiful to begin with, but then you add candlelight and wine and a chef with a fire. It's breathtaking. It really is.
So the next day I went out again with my bow and was really hoping to find a black impala. I think they're just beautiful animals. And we climbed up on the side of a mountain to glass, and we saw one. We had hoped that he would feed close to the side of the mountain. The wind was good, and he did. And I got a shot towards the end of the afternoon, but he jumped the string and the arrow went over his back, and that's hunting.
The problem is, as soon as we don't find him and we have to get on the mountain, we can have our wind going like that. So whenever we see something, we're gonna have to get down and have a hound. Let's make it work, it's fine. Let's see what those males are doing. Ah, there he is. Oh, fuck.
We got to high ground to see what we could see. And these guys spotted a black impala that was pretty far off and feeding. DJ guessed that he might come through a little valley between these two hills. And he did. He was walking. We stopped him with a grunt. I ended up shooting a little bit high. He was looking because of the call, and he absolutely ducked, and the arrow went, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches over his back. So he's not wounded. It was a fantastic stalk. It's a great start to the morning. But the next day, you and I went out, and it was one of those deals where we were just going to be opportunistic for me, but we were going to see if we could get something for you.
And we saw something for me. We saw a zebra, and we stalked it, and I got out, was right behind DJ, and he got me into a position. I had to shoot with sticks as well. I took a shot at over 200 yards with a 308. I know you were in the truck and you heard it. I got that message. I heard a shot. Was that you? And we continued on and followed it out of the range of the other zebras, and he laid down, and boy, was that a magnificent view and feeling. It was something that I was not expecting, but I was so excited. I think that's the part where I even teared up, and I couldn't wait for you to come into the truck with your phone, and we celebrated, and it was.
He's a big, beautiful stallion.
So we spotted the zebra from on top there. We spotted 2 groups. These ones here, and then we spotted another 2 over here to our left side now. But as we came down to plan, our initial stalk was to come over that little hill. But unfortunately, the blesbok went haywire and it pushed them into here. It is stalkable in here. They're walking with some gemsbok and stuff, so it's going to be tough.
Okay.
But let's try, let's give it a go at least. Yeah. Well, Deborah, congratulations. It's a very beautiful stallion. I'm going to shake your hand. We saw the zebra initially this morning, and we tried following them. We spotted them first from the mountain, and then thought to come to the second group that we saw just on a small little hill. That didn't pan out. They ran with the blesbok, as I said earlier. We then tried to stalk them. They spotted us. I think the golden wildebeest, they ran in front of us, and it must have spooked them away. We did a very fast stalk, a loop around them, came into them, and there was a bunch of wildebeest in the way. We waited for them there to come out to get a shot. We just couldn't. I think they must have fed backwards where we couldn't see them feeding. And then
we started moving forward, and eventually the stallion presented himself in an open shot. It was a far shot. It was probably around 230 yards, I must say, and I did tell you to aim a little bit higher, but I guess the bullet drop must have been just a tad too low. But your line was perfect, and then after that we put in an insurance shot. That was a perfect shot. He didn't even run far, and he's down. So very beautiful zebra, nice old stallion, very beautiful markings, not a lot of fight marks on him as well, because usually the stallions have all these bite marks on them, but this one does not. So congratulations once again, and you kept up.
So I still had my mindset on this black impala, and we kept seeing him, and we kept hunting him, and the next day we were stalking him, but we had also been seeing this beautiful old waterbuck over and over again, and we stalked him a couple of times and just couldn't, it's just the conditions weren't right. And so as we were stalking the black impala, we decided to go close to a watering hole, not at the watering hole, but in some brush close by, thinking maybe he would come in to get a drink. And we came through a tiny clearing in the brush, and there stood the waterbuck that we had been seeing and trying to hunt throughout the whole trip. We were creeping up on a water hole, and we saw a waterbuck that we've been seeing this whole trip. Big waterbuck, very unique horns. So I took a shot at about 26 yards. The arrow's still...
But it went in this deep. Well, it's only one bull that has that horn shapes.
Congratulations, Andrew. What a
Thank
nice
you.
waterbuck bull.
He's beautiful.
You can see it was bleeding all over here.
Tough as nails. Well, that first arrow would have killed him.
I think that was definitely, he was on his last deathbed right now, and you just whack one in, and that one got through all those arteries and stuff. Yeah, very unique waterbuck in the sense of how the horns look like. I think it's very beautiful.
That's
very,
a beautiful
very
animal.
beautiful. Deep seat. Well, Andrew, congratulations on a very unique and wonderful waterbuck. We've hunted him throughout the week, and this morning we started off on a small little hill scanning for black impala and so forth, and eventually we saw a tsetse going into the waterhole drinking, and we kind of went down for him. And the giraffe spooked all the animals over there, and then decided, okay, you know what, let's just walk throughout with the road to the next watering hole and get ourselves a nice little thick bush to sit down and see what comes into the waterhole to drink on the last day of the safari. And we came around the one bush, and there's the waterbuck that we've been hunting at 26 yards. And you put in a very good shot regarding the angle and the times, and the time you had, because he looked up as soon as you draw that arrow of 26 yards. I think everything can hear you. So yeah, congratulations on a beautiful waterbuck.
Thank you. I didn't feel great about that first shot, but he didn't run far. He stood and then he laid down. Tough animals.
Yeah.
So that first shot would have been enough, but I'm glad that we were able to track him and get one more shot in.
Yeah, and we kind of had the advantage on him, you know. We could see him where he was stuttering and laying down and then standing up, but we didn't want to pressure him. Of course, we don't want him to push him into the thickets. So I think we made the right decisions, and
it shows for itself.
Well, as I've become accustomed to, you put together a good plan and it worked out. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And then in the afternoon, we went back out to see if we could find that impala again, and we did. It was the end of the day, and I got a shot, but he dodged the arrow a second time. It went just past him. It was a long shot. It was about 60 yards, so it was good news for him. The arrow hit the ground and skipped up in the air, but the trackers remarkably found the arrow stuck in a tree off to the side, another 100 yards past the animal. And that was the end of the day, but what a wonderful, wonderful day. The impala shifted just as I shot, so the arrow hit the ground in front of him, skipped and changed directions and flew from over there over here and embedded itself into this branch. It's just incredible the velocity and the power of these arrows. And the broadhead is as good as new, ready to go. Incredible. Good job finding it. So on the last day, we needed to get ourselves organized and packed, get ready to head out to the airport. But there was a window to go out again. And so I told DJ, and he already knew that I was going to want to see if we could find that black impala again. So we got up earlier, had a very quick breakfast, and took off to see if we could find him. And we did. We found him. He remained as wily as ever. We put a stalk on, but he was running with 3 other bucks, and we just couldn't get a shot. So we stalked him again and again, but it was time to turn back, sadly.
Well, I know that when you left, I sort of got my cup of coffee and came out. Wanted to get my last few moments of the wind, the sand, the dirt, the rocks, the trees, the sounds, all of it that Lukop has to offer. It's to say that it's 5-star isn't enough. They pay attention to detail. They make you feel like home. It is home. It's home away from home, 100%. I know that you were worried that maybe if I didn't want to hunt as much, that there wasn't going to be much for me to do, but I kept myself busy. We went into town. We went to a beautiful spa, spent the day there, had more champagne, and just really soaked in the nature of it all. The nature at the spa, the nature driving. We went through town, got coffee, and just sort of like took in the ambiance and everything that it has to offer. At one point in time, you can just get your book and sit in the lawn chairs out in front of the fire or under the shade, under this tree, and time just goes by. You can't stop it, and I was trying my best to stop it. The staff is always careful and courteous and always offering you beverages and meals, and let me tell you, you're well fed here. And the rooms are so comfortable, and you don't want to leave them, but you have to leave them, and but they're just so nice to come back to. And the lodge is beautiful. The videos, the pictures, they don't do it justice. It really is a beautiful ground to be on and to be a part of.
And we really do feel as though this is now our African home.
Yes.
It's family oriented. We eat as a family. The parents are here, the siblings are here, other family members came in. It's just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
And we found ourselves underneath the family tree, just the two of us. We loved it so much that we had to go back. We took a bottle of wine and took the buggy and just on our own laid under the African sky one more time.
Well, I can't wait to come back. I feel like a part of me is always going to be here, and a part of us is going to be here. So I can't I can't wait to come back, and I'm so grateful to the Lukop family for giving us this experience together.